you know, you get to a point where it's really not rage anymore. It's just sadness and depression. I'm not at that point yet. What's up, everybody? Anime X here, and in this video, I will be doing another, or I should say, adding another part to the What If Minato Survive series. So, this is one due to popular requests, and also the fact that you guys apparently love this What If. So, I decided to bring this What If back. But just like the Naruto Achieve series, I will be implementing a like goal, so I may be digging my own grave on this one, but let's just say 300 likes, and you guys get a part 10 to this series. Now, just like I always do, recommend you go watch the previous parts if you haven't already, and I'll leave a link for you to go do that in the top right hand corner and in the description down below. But just like always, guys, I'll be recapping the last parts in case you need a quick refresher, and then I'll be jumping right into the What If itself. And so, let's jump right into it. So, without further ado, let's get started. Now, in the last part of What If Minato survived the attack on Konoha, we saw Naruto's training with Kushina come to a close, with Naruto having to face the full power of the QB himself in order to attempt to unlock the Uzumaki chains. And while Naruto wasn't able to do that particularly on this said occasion, he was able to reseal the QB through the flying Raijin and some outwitting the QB without dying. In fact, Naruto's fun and lovable nature it made the QB like him a little bit more already without them even really having that much interaction. After that, we left off with Team 7, particularly Naruto and Sasuke versus Team 9, and specifically the two that are actually doing anything. Lee and Neji were ready to take the fight that they were going on more seriously and go all out. So that's where we'll jump right into. So, like I just said in the recap, when these two teams get serious and are about to go at it, Naruto and Sasuke look at each other and know they're each going to have to go all out for it, and they all know which one they're going to go fight. And then, after Lee finishes his medicine, that's actually sake, God looks pretty nervous since he thinks that while Lee is drunk, he will be able to body Team 7, but he'll also be able to rampage for a while. So, he's not looking forward to that, and just when he's about to try to step in and stop the fight, Kakashi tells him to just relax. His team will handle it. Guy's just like, nah, your team can't handle drunk Lee, and then he is contradicted when Sasuke stops this theory in its tracks, because when the two clash, Sasuke is able to block and counter all of Lee's attacks due to no matter how unorthodox Lee's movements are, his Sharingan can clearly see through what his moves are, and he's able to somewhat block and keep up with Lee, especially with his enhanced taijutsu at this point. The only problem is the fact that Lee is still too fast for Sasuke to actually counterattack, because if he does, he might be open to a huge kick or a huge punch from Lee, which he can't afford to take. So he decides to play it safe and try to wait for Naruto to come help so he can tag team Lee. Meanwhile, while all this is happening, between Naruto and Neji are having their unofficial rematch from the Chunin exams, and Neji has a burning passion to win this. Even though he doesn't feel the same way that he did during the Chunin exams, that Naruto's a failure, he doesn't want to lose, just because you don't want to lose, so he's doing his best to not give Naruto the opportunity to make shadow clones, because last time Neji fought Naruto, he required clones in order to pull off the flying Raijin, and it's not really Neji's fault that he doesn't know that that Naruto got more sealing training, therefore allowing him to use flying Raijin more effectively, but he just doesn't have all the intel that he needs, and that's going to leave him at a disadvantage, as we'll see later. And if there aren't clones and no flying Raijin, the fight goes more in the favor to Neji, which that's basically what he's thinking, which is true. It's just he's not aware of Naruto's ability to use flying Raijin individually. And Naruto notices this strategy and just smirks slyly to himself as he backflips away from Neji and decides to keep the illusion up for a while that he requires clones in order to use the flying Raijin, so that way he might get a tactical advantage later on in their fight. So while in the air, he makes a sign for shadow clones, and all the clones throw out a bunch of sealed kunai all over the battlefield. Naruto then gets to work by confusing Neji and switching places with the clones and the like, so Neji can't tell which one is Naruto. Then, Neji realizes that this may be a problem when he hears that some of the Shadow Clones are making Rasengans, and based off their last encounter, he's well aware of the fact that he's outmatched by the Rasengans even when using the 360 degrees palms rotation, just due to the sheer power of the Rasengan's offensive capabilities. So he decides to go for offense as well. So when the clones attack, not even all of the clones attack with Rasengans, but when all of the clones attack, he decides to do the 8 trigram 64 palms modified. So instead of doing 64 palms on each individual, he decides to basically go 2 palms from one to 4 palms to another to 8 palms, so on and so forth throughout the shadow clones. And by 64 palms, he decides to get through all of the clones that actually attacked him with the Rasengan, and then he just kind of bodies the rest while Naruto's just kind of sitting back. And then Neji thinks that this fight is actually basically in the bag for him. Then Naruto just points at Neji's chest, and in Neji's horror, Naruto somehow places a seal on him somewhere in their encounter. But then, when he's on the brink of despairing, he realizes that as far as he knows, Naruto can't use a clone, or Naruto can't use Flying Raijin without the use of a clone. And when Neji says this out loud, Naruto just hears this and just starts laughing. Neji actually gets kind of annoyed because he's wondering what he's laughing about, and he wants to know what's so funny about Neji being a threat. But because all the ceiling training that Naruto went through with Kushina, it's now long going to be stronger and more adept with the Flying Raijin as a base. Because as a base, it's a ceiling jutsu. So when he hears Neji says this, he just apologizes, bows, and teleports right in front of Neji and shoves the Rasengan into his stomach. And with that, Neji is taken out of the fight completely. Naruto then sets his sights on Lee, who is now pushing Sasuke on the back foot due to how long Sasuke has been going at maximum speed and using the Sharingan in tandem, which is draining on him greatly. Naruto comes in for a rescue move when he teleports Sasuke to his side and then tells Sasuke what they need to do is put one seal on Lee, and that will allow them to win the fight. So he then gives Sasuke a new tag, or a tag in order to tag Lee, and with some, basically they just run at him and keep trying to tag Lee with the paper bomb, even though they are basically getting bodied as of the point where they are now. They keep fighting, going in, getting beat up. Naruto at one point tries to use a Flying Raijin, but Rock Lee is actually able to react to this and kick Naruto right as soon as he teleports to one of the kunai, meaning that Naruto's a little injured after this. But Naruto does have a plan and a trick up his sleeve, and so when he throws another kunai, and Lee catches it, assuming that it's another Flying Raijin kunai, and then realizes that's too late. It's a paper bomb attached to it, and when it explodes, it makes Lee come out of his drunken state. And as soon as that happens, Naruto and Sasuke are able to get the win. And due to all the excitement, both of them fall down, absolutely drained of any stamina that they had before. So after they confirm the winners of that match, they both get weak in the knees and get a little lightheaded and fall down, passed out completely. Now, after the fight occurs between the two teams, or Team Kakashi and Team Guy, they thank each other for the match and basically go on to training in their own way. Rock Lee and Neji are training with Guy. I mean, I guess 10-10's there too. But Rock Lee and Neji mainly are training with Guy in order to get stronger because so far they have been taking a few L's lately. Neji has lost twice in a row to Naruto, and Lee just came off the cusp of losing to Gaara, and now he lost to Naruto and Sasuke, which isn't good for his pride. But after a few weeks of going on missions and successfully beating them with ease, Team 7 is just starting to train a lot so that when the next Shonen exams come in a year, the exam shall be a breeze. The one day kind of offhandedly, Sakura asks Kakashi in a hush whisper who he thinks is stronger between Naruto and Sasuke. The reason she asks this is just due to the fact that Naruto is now powerful, right? It's not, at this point, it's not even like hidden. It's not he pulls it out whenever. Naruto is just a straight Chad in this one, right? He has Flying Raijin, he has Rasengan, he's good at Taijutsu. He's not retarded. He has decent, very good, I would argue very good chakra control at this point in time. Now, Sakura is just about as good as whispering as she is at fighting. So when this is said, Naruto and Sasuke are able to overhear that question, and they both ask Kakashi what he thinks as well. When Sasuke sees that Kakashi is even considering putting Naruto above him or even close to him in strength, that makes him rather angry and prompts him to bring up the fact that they could just spar to see who's stronger. Naruto, of course, is down to do this, and Sakura is excited to see Sasuke at least attempt to mop the floor with Naruto. Kakashi, on the other hand, is a little bit more skeptical of the fight, and in the offer of itself, since Sasuke seemed to bring this idea up to assert something that maybe could have been argued in favor of Naruto. So, in order to keep his pride intact, Sasuke wants to not only fight, but absolutely demolish Naruto in terms of a physical or taijutsu, or just any match having to do with their skill as a ninja. So with that, Kakashi says that it's alright with him, although he will stop it if it gets too serious. So with that, he gives a signal to start, and Naruto starts off off the jump, throwing kunai all over the place in order to get kind of a tactical advantage, get his lay of the land with the Flying Raijin. Now, Sasuke is now aware of Naruto's ability to teleport in tandem with the Rasengan, but he knows that if Naruto does that twice and tries to use Shadow Clones with this to confuse Sasuke, without hitting Sasuke either time, his chakra reserves will already be below what he would want them to be, maybe even below 40%, leaving Naruto at a pretty big disadvantage. So Sasuke decides that if he could just dodge the first two really large-scale moves that he decides to do, then the win is as good as his. Now, from Naruto's perspective, he just knows that Sasuke won't be willing to use his Sharingan early in the fight, since that will drain him of chakra fast. So Naruto decides he's going to use that to his advantage and try to confuse Sasuke while he's holding back. Sasuke then disappears from Naruto's vision, though, stopping Naruto's plan just in his tracks, and appears right behind Naruto, hits him, slamming Naruto into a tree. Now, Naruto could have easily reacted to this and teleported away, but Naruto decides that he's going to let Sasuke get his confidence up so he can start letting his guard down and see some flaws in his technique. So, when Naruto gets up, he sees that Sasuke is already confident in his abilities, so he knows that if he plays it right, he could basically play Sasuke into thinking that he'll, into lowering his guard, so that he'll just basically be able to beat him really easily. So Sasuke then goes for another blitz, and even though Naruto can react to it and teleport, he's about to let himself get hit one more time. But then he hears the sound of a Chidori being formed, so Naruto knows, aw, snap. He's going for that quick win. He's trying to take me out of the fight quickly. So that makes Naruto teleport away from Sasuke. And then we see as soon as he turns around from the teleportation, he sees Sasuke charging at full speed at Naruto with the Chidori speed ant, meaning that he can barely react. And during this moment, everything slows down for Naruto. His heart is racing. His hair is standing on end. His skin full of goosebumps, rough with goosebumps, and Naruto thinks about this feeling for a second and recognizes that it's two possible things. The feeling you have before you die, or an unimaginable excitement from such a high-stakes fight. I think it's the first one. Naruto thinks it's the second one. I'll let you guys decide in the comments. Either way, Naruto is able to barely get away and teleport with a kunai from it, but he is grazed by the Chidori, so he wasn't unfazed from that. And then when Naruto lands to catch his breath, he hears this weird hissing sound, and then he notices that the kunai he teleported to has a paper bond attached to it as well, and Naruto just covers his face with his arms as the explosion ensues, and then Sasuke relaxes. When the smoke clears though, he sees that Naruto is relatively fine with only a few minor, maybe one major injury to his arm, which is bleeding quite a bit, but this makes Sasuke even more angry and angsty, so he unleashes the Sharingan's power and the power of the curse mark to try to finish this fight immediately. So he charges at Naruto full speed with a Chidori, and Naruto makes a Rasengan in response, and when the two clash, the explosions send Sasuke backwards onto the ground, and Naruto upwards into the air, heavily damage both of them by their attacks that they just threw out there. And as Naruto flies through the air above the smoke, Sasuke looks up to see that Naruto has a kunai in one hand and a Rasengan in the other. But then, when Sasuke tries to get up, he just falls to his knees due to the backlash of the curse marks. Naruto then throws the kunai down to the ground, and once it plants itself in the earth, Naruto teleports down there and shoves the Rasengan right into Sasuke's stomach, obtaining Naruto's win over Sasuke. Then Naruto's injuries and blood loss get the best of him, as he's now bleeding from the top of his left and right eye, bleeding from his right arm, and has some severe inner wounding. But after this, he holds his arm up in victory and passes out. Now, after the fight between Naruto and Sasuke is obviously heated just like he is in the original, so he runs off, gets bodied or whatever, jumped by the Sound 4. After this, mainly everything goes how it does in the original, right? Naruto then wakes up and he realizes, hey, Sasuke left the village. And Naruto can't help but think it's his fault for beating him, but nonetheless, he knows that he can get to him quickly because he has a seal on him. So when Naruto tries to teleport to Sasuke, he notices that, hey, the seal isn't working. And we're going to get into why that's going to happen in the next part. But for now, all Naruto knows is that Sasuke's gone, the seal isn't working, and he doesn't know how to feel about that. So everyone's getting ready. Everyone's getting scrambled to get the Sasuke recovery team ready. So they're all getting ready, and they're about to head out to the village and go and save Sasuke. So that's where we're going to leave this what if. And that, everybody, is where I'm going to end part 9 to the What If Minato Survived the Attack on Konoha series. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, first of all. And if you guys do want another part to it very soon, make sure to hit that 300 like button. Like I said, I may be digging my own grave, but I do want to see how you guys respond to this What If. See if it gets a lot of likes, see if it gets a lot of, YouTube clout. So I guess we'll just see. I'll have to wait and see to how you guys react to this. As always, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. And if you haven't already done so, consider subscribing and hitting the bell to make sure you don't miss out on more What If content in general and What If Minato Survived the Attack on Konoha videos. Like I said, as always, I hope you enjoyed the video. And as always, guys, this is AnimeX, signing off.